Hi there, this is part two, which is about installing all the love-based emotions, all the love-based messages that you want to put in after you've deleted the fear-based ones. And I wanted to get this up pretty quickly so that um, if you've worked on deleting them, that you know what to replace them with in short order so that you can do them kind of at the same time. I find that it's a really good idea to do it the same day. If you can do it the same day, that's ideal. So having removed the energy of all of these things that have been said and done to you that have been resonating, rejection, abandonment, lack of worthiness, whatever that is for you, it becomes quite important to replace that with all the love-based ones. And I suggest that you do that with affirmations. Now, by affirmations, I mean sentences that start with the words I am. Now, I am is a very, very powerful way to start a sentence. And at some other time, I'll explain to you why that is. But I just want you to know how powerful those words are. And also to caution you about them, because if you're walking around saying, I'm sick and tired of this, and I'm no good at that, and all of those things, those are self-fulfilling prophecies. I am's very powerful, regardless of what's behind it. So we want to use that in a powerful way to say really positive things about ourselves. So what I'd like you to do is to take those 6 or 8 sentences, or however many you generated the last time when we were deleting messages, and turn them around into positive statements. And this will become your list of personal affirmations just for you. So they're pretty easy. So if you've been saying, I'm unlovable, then that becomes I am lovable. If you've been saying, I'm ugly, you say, I am beautiful or handsome. Whatever the case may be, whatever word applies for you. If you've been saying, I'm weak, I'm powerless, you say, I'm powerful, I'm strong. And so on. If you've been feeling vulnerable and really in fear, say, I am safe, or I am protected. And if you've been saying to yourself, I'm in fear all the time, then I want you to say, I am loved. I am loved. And at the end of all of them, when you've put those specific ones in order to address all the things that you've just deleted, the last thing I want you to say every time you say this list of affirmations is, I am love. Because that is the truth. The essence, your true essence, your soul, is a bit of creative intelligence. It's a bit of spirit. It's a bit of source energy. And that is pure love. And so if I can say it this way, that, each soul is a flame in the fire that is creative intelligence. Each soul is a drop of water in the sea that is source energy. So if you can see it that way, you can understand that you are a light being. Your essence is a light being that's actually in a body of light also. And that essence is pure love. And by pure love, I mean it's love that existed before the world of duality, before before fear ever even existed. So that's a really high level of love. And I want you to say that at the end of them. So you're going to end up with a few sentences. And, they don't take long to say. But I am going to want you to say them out loud. And I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to say them every day. And you're going to do that for at least 21 days straight. Now, the 21 days, research has shown it takes 21 days to establish a new habit and all of that sort of thing. What I want you to just understand is that You need to repeat this day after day for a period of time. It took you a long time to install those fear-based things that you had, and you've been saying them to yourself for a long time. And so you need to repeat these new ones to yourself again and again and again. Just not only to implant them, but to make sure that they're firmly planted in you. And this doesn't take long. I mean, you can time me. I am lovable. I am beautiful and good. I'm powerful. I'm safe. I am loving. I am loved. I am love. It doesn't take long to say. Seconds, not even a minute. But what I want you to do is to carve out a time every day, preferably early in the morning before you get started, just so you don't forget, but it will depend what your life looks like. But I want you to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to do that. And with the repetition of every day, you'll see what starts to happen. And it can be pretty amazing. Now, there are other steps as well, and you kind of have to do all of them. But at this phase, you're just really installing that new programming in you that's going to change your vibration. So this is not hard, but you do have to do it. And it means you have to do it every day. And often what happens, is that something will happen. There'll be a crisis of some kind. Suddenly you'll have something happen in your life. Your car will break down. You'll have a health problem. Somebody is in crisis, and it'll throw you for a loop, and you might have to stop your practice. Should that happen, just start again. Just start again. Life is about starting again every day. Just start again. Don't give up. Don't forget about it. If you've got something that stops you, well, there's something that stops you. That's all right. Just don't let it stop you for good. Just start again. Just start again when you can. And make that commitment to yourself. Because this will change everything in your life. This, along with the other things that I'm going to suggest to you, each piece plays its part. But this is a pretty important one, obviously. So write those sentences out, write them down. I know some people have found it helpful to actually write them out and post them around places. That might work for you, it might not. Sometimes I notice if I post something, I'll walk past it so many times I'll stop even noticing it. So it just depends what works for you. But what you must do is say it, and preferably out loud. Honestly, preferably out loud, if you can do that. So I know some people want to talk about how those hard experiences in their life have made them who they are, that that they don't want to forget them. Oh, there goes my phone. I'll call them back. The thing about this that I want to say to you, it'll just go for a couple of rings and it'll stop. The thing I want to say to you about that is this. All those things, that's the last one, all those things that have happened to you, that's true. They've made you who you are. They have. Obstacles are always blessings. Always. It doesn't always feel like it. Sometimes it can take a long time, sometimes decades, to understand what the blessing was. But obstacles are always blessings for some reason or other. And if you had these unhappy things happen to you, absolutely they've made you who you are. And some of those things can be really wonderful things. Maybe they've made you really sensitive to other people's plights. Maybe they've made you particularly kind. Maybe they've made you really empathetic about diversity and differences. Maybe they've made you, I don't know, any number of things. Maybe they've made you really strong, able to handle lots of adversity. Maybe they've made you really humble, You know, you've suffered at the hands of some people who have maybe piled some humility on top of you, and it has made you humble. I mean, there are good things that happen. The reason that you don't want the energy of the of the wound in you, take the lessons, of course, absolutely. But the reason you don't want the energy of the wound, it's the energy of the wound that you don't want in you. For the simple fact that as long as it's in you, it's changing your vibration. And by changing your vibration, it is calling in exactly the things that you don't want to call in. So that's why we delete the energy of the wounds. It's not that we don't appreciate any good stuff that's come as a result of those tough experiences. Of course we do. They've become part of your energy too. And it's why you've had a mixture of things. I know, I do want to say, you know, I've had an amazing life. You know, I'm giving you examples because I think that's helpful for my own personal life. But my story is not a sad story in the face of the world. It really isn't. You know, there are so many people who've been through so many really horrific things. And my life's not like that. So I just want to make that clear. The only reason I'm telling you at all about my life is just to give you examples of things, really firsthand examples that I've had. What I want to tell you too about obstacles is this, is that often whatever was installed in you has brought on a whole lot more pain in your adult life. If you've got rejection and abandonment resonating in you, you know, if that's part of your frequency, you can be sure that you've called in rejection and abandonment stories. And they also will have had a good side and a not so good side. And, you know, again, I want to tell you from personal experience that my rejection stories brought in a lot of really severe heartbreak for me. Really tough stuff. But I got to tell you that I am grateful even for the toughest heartbreak, the ones that I didn't think I was going to survive, you know, that really hard stuff. But I'm grateful for them, and I'm going to tell you why, because if I hadn't had those things, I don't think I ever would have been motivated to listen to all of these people on YouTube, you know, Marissa Peer and all of these people that I've listened to, and to really go on this voyage to discover why I was calling in these things, and ultimately to come up with this template, this formula as to how to install self-love and heal all these shadow wounds. And how could I not be grateful for that? How could I not be grateful for that? Okay. So the next time we're going to go on and talk about the importance of the practice of gratitude. And it is really an important part. But the two main bits about deleting and then installing are things that need to be done relatively quickly, back to back, I would say, in the first session even. And so I wanted to make sure that we got that up so that you know what that process is. Okay, that's it for this time. And the next time we'll talk about practice of gratitude. Okay, bye for now.